These are 10 obscure Power Rangers that even the best Power Ranger fans don't even know. Brad Hawkins was meant to be the original White Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but Tommy was so popular that they brought him back, and Brad moved over to doing the show VR Troopers, and he played Ryan Steele. So his dreams as a Power Ranger never came true, except did voice the Gold Ranger in Power Rangers Zeo before it was turned over to Jason. Now, when the Gold Ranger unmorphed, it turned into the triplets, who are being a little crazy right now. Now, Brad does go to some cons here and there, puts that he's the Gold Ranger, and it's very true because he is. After he left the SLAU, which I have a great video on, you guys should check it out, Saban Live Action Universe, he went on to do some small parts in a bunch of different shows like Walker, Texas Ranger, Touched by an Angel, Crossing Jordan, Jag, Prison Break. Honestly, any show that was kind of in the mid 90s all the way through the early 2000s, he has been on those shows. I mean, the list is pretty crazy. Now, a lot of actors who have been on Power Rangers did a ton of ADR work, and of course, Brad is no exception to that. He really built an incredible career for himself, doing a lot of additional voices for many projects. Now, forgive me because my knowledge of anime is very limited. Here are some of the titles that stuck out to me that he's been in: Darker Than Black, The Gray Man, Soul Eater, One Piece, My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Attack on Titan. When you look at someone like Arthur Ranford, you might think he's definitely too old to be a Power Ranger. Now, if you're a lifelong Power Ranger fan, you know who Arthur is. He played Albert in Power Rangers Dino Charge, who was the original Purple Ranger. Being at his age, it was very difficult for him to go into action, so he decided to give up the Energem and let it be for someone else who could take over and be a little bit stronger Ranger than him at his age. Now, Arthur was on Cowboy Bebop as well for Netflix, playing Antonio. Been on a handful of other TV and film roles here and there, but I'm pretty sure that he plays violin because there's about 4 different things I've seen play violin on: theater production in 2021, Ladder and Thread, Fiddler on the Roof, where he was, yes, that's it, the Fiddler, back in 1989. He was in a film called The Piano, House of Sticks, where both of those he played violin. But honestly, it's pretty cool that this 75-year-old actor can claim to be a Power Ranger. Daniel Musgrave, he voiced several Rangers throughout time: Aqua Ranger in Dino Charge for a period of time, Andros in Beast Morphers when they looked at past footage, and he also did Dino Thunder Red in Beast Morphers when they had the whole Dino team up. He went on to star in a couple things that really stuck out to me, like West Side, which stars David D. Latour and Antonio Preble. Written in the Stars, which once again starred David D. Latour, but Kimberly Crossman was also on that. Now, those stick out to me because I did a video called Rangers in the Wild, which had a bunch of different crossover movies with people who were actors in Power Rangers being in the same movie or TV show. So you should check that out if you're interested in this. Speaking of Antonia Preble, yes, she played Claire in Mystic Force and played Claire's mother as well. And she's been on screen in Power Rangers before that as well, in Dino Thunder, where she played Krista. But she has actually played a Power Ranger, which most people don't realize. She voiced SPD's Nova Ranger on the final episodes of SPD. And she did a couple other things, doing some voices for Corone and Beast Morphers. And Antonia is married to Daniel Musgrave.
Brett Stewart
is another person who played a couple small roles in Power Rangers. He played the shady guy in Ninja Storm, went on in 2005 to voice the Ball of Light version of Sam in SPD, so he does voice the SPD's Omega Ranger from the year 2040. His most famous role seems to be he died with a falafel in his hand, and he took a long hiatus from acting from 2014 to 2020, where he was in the movie Head High. Fiona Vroom portrayed the Yellow Ranger in Power Rangers 2017 movie. This is just the one in the prologue where Zordon is seen getting a power coin from the Yellow Ranger. That alien is played by Fiona Vroom. But she also comes in the movie at another time where she played the saleswoman at the jewelry store. She was in the show Snowpiercer, where she played Miss Gillis. She's been in lots of Hallmark movies, which I'm looking forward to the Christmas season coming up. Hopefully I can spot her in some of those. Played Claire in Man in the High Castle, Altered Carbon, played Sandy Kim, and in 2013 she was in Star Trek Continues, playing Lilani. I'm not sure if that's correct. Acted with Lou Ferrigno, though. That's pretty cool. Stephen A. Davis played the 17th generation Samurai Red Ranger, Jaden and Lauren's father. Now, he did a bunch of stunt work in Jungle Fury, RPM, and then, of course, in Samurai. And then after that, he went on to start working on the Hobbit trilogy that was, of course, filmed in New Zealand as well. But the list goes on and on. He's been in a ton of stuff. The thing that's really cool about him is in all his promo shots on the Stunt Guild website and his own personal website, he does have the picture of of him in the Red Ranger suit. He's gone on to do a lot of directing fight choreography, but he seems to be someone who is always happy to rep the Power Rangers. Speaking of samurai, I do have a little playlist that has a whole season breakdown. I also have a really great fan theory I'm excited about that I would love to have you check out about the Shiba family, of course the Red Rangers, all the organization behind them that I think might be a little corrupt. You should check it out. Now I'll admit some people might think this is a bit of a stretch, but I thought it would be fun to include it. Mark DeCascos is a name that a lot of people probably don't even think about in Power Rangers. He played Victor Lee in the Bioman pilot, which was the original hope to get Power Rangers on TV, and he was the original Red Ranger essentially. Now personally, I know him best from the movie Double Dragon back in the day. Man, that was a classic. I love that movie. But he's a major martial artist in Hollywood. He's been in tons and tons of stuff if you look at his IMDb. What most people probably know him for right now is from being in John Wick 3. But it's really crazy to think this guy's really gone on to do a lot of successful things, and to think that he could have essentially been our first Red Ranger, maybe, if it had gotten picked up. Isn't that cool? Hyperforce is the first official RPG Power Rangers show. At the time, Saban still owned the show, and they did say that this is canon. And the GM of that show was Malika Lim. Now, it's obvious that several of the people on this cast were YouTubers and different people who got to be Power Rangers on the show, but not every character in these episodes could be represented by a different actor, so Malika had to do a lot of the voices. Now, of course, some of these people might do a lot of different random voices, but the reason I really consider her an actual Power Ranger is because she voiced one specific character that has never been played by anybody else. She played the future B Squad's member, Lena Song. Now, Lena Song moved from being the Green Ranger to the Blue Ranger in the squad, and this is when J.J. Oliver took over and became the Green Ranger. And for those who don't know, that is Tommy and Catherine's son. This is all done in the comics. Now, other people in this cast was Andre Meadows, Christina V, Megan Camarena. They are all official Power Rangers now. This also gave second set of Power Ranger powers to Peter and Yoshi, who also were both Blue Rangers in Power Rangers. But one of the most exciting people we got to see become a Ranger was Paul Schreier, which everybody knows as Farkas Bulkmeyer, but he finally got to be in canon. This is not just like some, you know, fan made or, you know, other universe. This is canon. Like, Paul Schreier is a Power Ranger. Yuri Lowenthal is a crazy successful voice actor. If you look up his IMDb page, you are bound to hit some really, really iconic roles. He's been around for a long time, but he didn't touch on the Power Rangers universe until 2017 when he was on the game Power Rangers Super Legends. Of course, he voiced the iconic Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and the Omega Ranger, and I understand why some people might say, well, big deal, they just need a voice actor and he got thrown on there. It doesn't really make him a Power Ranger. But what does set him apart is that in this game there is the future Omega Ranger, which it's not completely confirmed if Sam is the future Omega Ranger or this is just a completely different person, but the future Omega Ranger only makes an appearance in this video game. That's it. Nothing in the rest of the show or in the comics anywhere. It's just in this one thing. He is the guardian of the Hall of Legends, of the Legends of Power Rangers. And when he gets attacked by Lord Zed, he recruits several different Rangers from different teams, and he puts them out to fight Emperor Grum and Lord Zed. Now, at the end of the game, he has to do what everybody has to do apparently in SPD, which is erase everybody's memory. So no one knows if the future Omega Ranger exists. They don't know about the Hall of Legends, and which means that you could say maybe it's not canon. It was from a video game. Hypothetically, you know, it really could be canon because they don't remember it for a reason. Do you know of any obscure Power Rangers out there that no one knows about? People who have played a Ranger? I think it's so cool to dive into this stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So have a great one, guys. Check out that breakdown for the Samurai seasons if you are into it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.